Yeah, we started. This is improv podcast. Everyone,
I,
say who they
I
are.
like I like to call it the bargain bin podcast. So like all of the shitty ideas that we had in the past, but we were way too like full of ourselves to talk about it.
Shitty ideas are freaking great. I don't know what to talk about.
I am Whitley.
I'm Black Sun.
The
Yeah.
shitty ship.
The what now?
Nothing. Shut up. Continue.
This bitch called Black Sun Shitty.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Or whatever here. I don't know anymore.
Snape.
Snippet.
Snipped off your
What?
fucking brain cord. Ooh, got him. Okay, so did you guys see the? Well, I know you guys saw the trailer because you guys told me to go watch
You
it.
might as well not fake it.
I don't care about Blake. I don't care about Blake. But
Blake
I do.
trailer. More like
I do.
Alien trailer.
Actually, you know what's really funny? I don't really care too much for Blake anymore. I don't really care too much for Blake anymore, but she is the character that I'm for, like, that I cosplay the most because she's kind of like, I am the Blake of our cosplay group, and I'm just like forced to like Blake, and I'm like, I really don't like Blake. She's so boring. And like, nah.
I used to love Blake, and then she was like, "Fondness has no rights," and it's like, we're not gonna show you that. We're just gonna tell you it.
So, what are you guys' opinions on the Blake, or the Ilya trailer?
It was very underwhelming. Okay, so to hype up the Weiss trailer, which showed action, not too much story, what they did was they showed like 2 images and then 1 GIF. Yeah, that's good. The picture
Do you
says
mean GIF?
GIF.
We are not starting this.
It's GIF because it stands for graphic.
Did you?
I say GIF.
Okay, shut up. Continue.
So, hey, we got a picture to say, hey, this is coming, and we got a quick little GIF, just be like, hey, it's coming. Here's some little stuff for it, and you're like, oh shit, yeah. And then it came out, and it's Weiss fighting. I think we already gave our opinions on it, but probably not. So it's okay. Whatever, man. It's good. And then this one, hey guys, let's have a picture. Hey guys, let's have like 5 different gifts for it. Are you hyped up? Are you hyped up? It's 3 minutes long, not counting ads. And it's like, what? And then we expecting Blake's trailer, and we got Ilya's trailer.
Ilya.
Whatever that girl's name is.
It's Ilya.
Whatever that girl's name is.
Her name is Ilya.
Whatever that girl's name.
Okay, let's sound it out together. Snap. Like the same noise that the girls make when they see your pee.
Damn it.
Lee.
Ilya.
Lee.
Whatever.
No, it's Ilya. Okay.
Ilya.
Fuck, whatever. Fine. Well, what about you, Black Sun? What did you think about the
Very mixed opinions on it. Like, when the hype first came out, they were like, look, a Blake trailer. I was like, oh, cool. And then I realized Sun was going to be in it. And of course, I was like, oh, yes, I'm so hyped. And then it turned out to be like an Ilya trailer, and I was very disappointed. And also, I was kind of confused why they would put a backstory in a trailer instead of the actual show. Like, not everyone watches the trailer. I mean, Whitley said herself she wasn't going to watch the trailer.
Did you just assume my gender?
Yes!
How dare you?
I'm sorry, attack helicopter. But I also liked it a little bit because, I mean, of course we learned more about Ilya, and of course Blake and Sun were getting along.
This is gonna make Black Sun.
Hey, Sun like jumped on.
Hey, Blake. Hey,
like,
Black Sun. You should look at that chat that we have.
What?
You should. Okay, you know that Discord chat that we're currently in right now.
What?
You should look at it.
Why?
Just do it.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
You'll love it, I promise.
Hold on. I haven't
Don't
been
do
through
it. Don't do it. You'll regret it.
No, you won't.
I regret
Yes.
it. No. Why? You
Yeah, no,
forsaken-
I already knew.
No.
Basically, okay, to audience, it's just a picture of Jean getting loved and caressed and just loved by all of Team Sun, especially Neptune. Neptune probably has his like.
No, don't say it.
I won't say it. I remember it. I can't be too
Bad.
too bad. Sorry to do that. Anyways, you were saying about the trailer?
Oh, so I kind of liked it because, of course, we learned more about Ilya, and then Blake and Sun were getting along, so maybe she's moved past her bitchiness. So I was I'm a little hyped now just to see how she acts in the actual volume. Other than that, I was pretty disappointed.
For me, I actually kind of like how they gave. I don't think it was an Ilya backstory, to be honest with you. I think it was more of like, well, you know how we were saying that we didn't like the fact that Ilya was reacting to racism with violence.
Yeah.
How she said, "Oh, that's okay. I broke her teeth." If you actually think about it, I don't think this trailer is a story for Ilya. I think it's explaining the type of character that you needed to be part of this type of organization. Because if you think about it, Adam wants to solve racism by, committing genocide. And Ilya thinks that she needs to react in violence to solve her problems, and Blake thought the same way until, she learned the magic of friendship. But no, I kind of like, after I was, like a few minutes ago, I was like, oh, well, why is it just Ilya? But I kind of get it now, because it's the character that Blake would have needed to be for the past.
Yeah.
So, like, how,
I
yeah,
see
like,
what you mean.
like Weiss's was in the past, and you can see that she is a little bit more underdeveloped and shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, Ilya is explaining how,
So this brings up a good theory topic. Will we see like Blake's past to really come to be like, hey, she's like, stop this is wrong, and like, bitch, you killed people too, like stuff like that. Like, will it be like, hey, you can say whatever you want about about White Fang now, but you did some of the worst stuff ever? Or do you think Blake was being more of a pacifist and just stole stuff when she did her stuff?
You mean like if you think Blake was violent in the past, like Ilya and Adam?
Yeah.
But for sure, if you remember in Volume 2, when she was on the train with Roman, Roman asked her if she thought that her friends would forgive her for what she's done. And that kind of, like, we never actually really learn exactly what she has done, because, like, yeah, sure, she's stolen a few things, but for I guess a criminal like Roman to say that is like she must have killed someone or killed people to get her way. So I think that for sure Blake in the past was very violent.
But do you think, because of this trailer, like you said, do you think they'll show and focus on it this season, this volume?
To be honest with you, I actually don't really. I'm worried that they're gonna do the same shit with Blake, what they did to Ren for backstory.
So like have it 2 episodes before you supposed to care.
Pretty much, yeah.
I hope they do it at least during the beginning of the season, so it has payoff at the end.
Well, another thing I kind of wanted to talk about with regards to the trailer was I actually don't like the fact that a lot of people are sympathizing with Ilya and agreeing with Ilya.
Yeah, no, that's terrible.
Because, well, like, I don't know if you guys have heard of the story where there was a black journalist who sat down with like a Klansman, like he was the leader of a Klansman of the clan, or like one of them. And he said, like he sat down with him and asked him about his ideology, and he actually ended up completely changing the Klansman's view on the world, to the point where they actually befriended each other. The black guy actually even went to like clans things, like just to see. And the leader actually ended up leaving the clan altogether, and a lot of people say that that was because of the friendship that he had with this black journalist. So the black journalist says, like, you don't solve things like racism or sexism with violence, you solve it with kindness. So it's like, I don't really think that, Ilya should be praised for what she did. But I guess with what the demographic to Ruby is, it's like they don't know any better. So,
I think when she becomes like a more of a redeemed character, where she goes and has that change, like, you know what, the White Fang really isn't that good, and this is peace is the only way to do this, then I think she should be praised. But right now, just be like, oh man, I feel bad for her, blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, it is upsetting, but to do and then to continue to be like, I'm rooting for her, blah blah blah, when she like said, you know what, the only way to defeat this is with violence. No, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah. Also, doesn't Ilya, with how her character is now, and even like her gestures and like personality, kind of remind you of Emerald?
Oh yeah, her
Mm,
her
yeah.
character seems very stock and boring and not original.
Well, that's not what I meant. What I
Oh,
meant was that,
that's what I
like,
meant.
well, like Ilya and Emerald depend on their I guess group or their cause. Like, for example, Emerald's cause is Cinder, and Cinder's like world order in a way. And then Ilya depends on the White Fang for justice regarding
mean.
race. So like, I don't really think they're boring characters, to be honest with you. It's really like you have to kind of think about their position, right? They are like manipulated people for thinking that they're doing something right. So it's like they can go different ways, they can go the same way. I really hope that they have different ways, and I also hope that Ilya doesn't end up being the one who's redeemed and they just tell Emerald to fuck off.
Yeah.
I would rather Emerald be redeemed than Ilya.
Oreos! Ryan got Oreos and they're really good.
One of was Snap gonna say something? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Honestly, I think. Well, okay. The thing is, with a lot of stuff I notice, and of course it's gonna happen. People say, "Oh, there hasn't been an original idea in 5 million years," but I think just what they did with backstory, from what it seems, is just so overdone so many times. We've seen the same thing. It's like, don't let your true nature out. Oh, her true nature's out. Everyone hates her. Oh no, blah blah blah. We should feel bad. And it's like, I've seen that so many times in movies and films and
like
books.
Frozen.
Yes, everyone's seen Frozen, and then you can say it for also X-Men too. Like, it's just like so.
It's true.
I mean, that's exactly a plot from like X-Men, where it's like, oh, you can't change because people will freak out on your true self. Like, that's legit from X-Men, and now everyone's like, well, bravo.
But here's the difference though. Ilya, the difference with that though is that Ilya actually, instead of, like, how I feel like yes, it is cliche, but the solution that they took is different. Like, for example, Frozen and X-Men, they didn't I mean, some of them in X-Men might have done this, but they didn't like react or like retaliate in a bad way towards society. Ilya did. She did it in a violent way.
I mean, Elsa did too. She like ran away and tried to kill people who tried to fight her.
No, she ran away because she didn't want to face her issues. Ilya wanted to go out of her way to get revenge, whereas Elsa ran away because
Is
she didn't
someone
want to be a part
trash
of it.
talking Elsa from Frozen? Excuse you.
I actually don't give a fuck about Elsa, to be honest. My favorite princess is the black one because she's cool.
From Princess and the Frog, right?
Sure, that one. She needs a Ruby character. Get on that shit, Rooster Teeth, right now. Oh my god, can Sage be Princess Tiana?
Yes!
Yes! Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
What's the stupid fat like blonde chick in you know what I mean? That one blonde
I can't
chick.
remember her name.
Okay, yeah. Let's call her Princess. Sage needs to be her.
Yes, please. Tell Rooster Teeth right now if they're
No. I think that Weiss should her character should just completely change, and she should be that one girl in Princess and the Frog. Be like, oh, Daddy, let's do this, and then like at that point, I would totally be okay if Jacques like shanked her, just like right then.
Little off topic, but you know, that's fun.
Snap,
This
who
is
gives a
improv.
fuck?
This is improv, so you know, talk good.
One thing I don't know. I think I heard Snap in the background trying to say something because we talked about this before we started recording. Was how everyone is hating on Sun.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Everyone's hating on Sun for like jumping on Blake, but everyone loves
Really?
Ilya. Yes, they were like, "Oh my god, he's jumping on her unnecessarily. He is not respecting her personal boundaries." And then Ilya like punches someone in the teeth, like, "Ah, Ilya needs someone to hug." Like, what is going on, Amino? Come on.
I mean, like, to be fair though, do you remember with the whole like Blake slapping Sun?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember it.
I at this point, I'm so sick of just seeing Sun, Blake, and Yang. I want them all. I want all three of them to die.
No.
All three of them need to die.
No.
Oh,
That
why?
hurts my heart.
Just kill them, please. I mean, it worked with like I mean, it worked. My praying worked with Pyrrha. I was watching the volume 3 ending with my friend, and all I hear is no, yes, no, yes. Oh my god, it actually happened! And then Pyrrha died, and I was like, oh my god! I'm totally okay that Roman's dead now. Fuck Pyrrha.
I was gonna say. Oh yeah. Now. Yeah. If you guys
What
have
the
nothing.
fuck? You ate all of the Oreos, you dick.
If anyone, I would like to move the topic to something else of the trailer that I noticed. So how freaking dumb is Blake?
Pretty
Because
stupid.
she's last volume she had a seizure trying to pick up a phone.
Yes. Get the phone.
and then she's like, well, it's a public place. He has a gun. This is the perfect time to strike. And it's like, and then he shoots, and he could have killed innocents, but she's like, nah, I need to get this guy right here and right now while he has tons of guns. For sure.
I also like how Blake suddenly became Genji and was like, hold on, let me pull out my katana to deflect this shit. I got this. Like, realistically speaking, either the gunsman is really shit at shooting or Blake is literally Genji. Because, like, why didn't he shoot her head? It was high noon.
Or why didn't he shoot, like, her legs or anytime? That's the thing. Like,
could you imagine he shot her in the leg and Blake's just like, fuck.
But no, like, okay, so from where she was standing, from where he was, that was pretty. It wasn't point blank, but it was pretty close. He could have freaking like bang dead or something, and then he was like, oh, and he like shot like around her.
Cause snap, it was high noon. It wasn't actually high noon. That's why he missed.
So it's like, no, she missed, and it's like, what? So that was one problem I had because it's just like very, very unrealistic. Because it's like, I don't
It's not. It's anime.
know.
Ooh, no.
Also,
no.
I'd like to say, do you like? Do you think they'll bring back the old outfits? Because
No.
I really like them, and they're showing them, and they're hyping them. I'm like, I want them back.
No,
So
I don't
it's-
think they're gonna come back. To be honest with you, there's no point.
but I don't know. They became so iconic that now I'm like all these new outfits. I'm just kind of like,
I think that they changed into the new outfits too soon.
Yeah.
But like, if you haven't noticed, every single season, with the exception of Volume 3,
They've got new outfits.
yeah,
But not really, because they always kept to the old ones. They just got new outfits just to be like, hey, like the second volume, they said, hey, we're gonna be going to this new area, so let's change. So do you think they'll go back to their old outfits just for like different places that they're going to?
no, I don't think so. I actually thought it would have been cool if like they had, like, for example, you know how like Weiss was going to Atlas. I think it would have been cool if like her outfit changed to fit the cold temperature, and then Blake's changed to fit the hot temperature. So like the only reason that they had the outfits they had at Beacon was so that it would be for the temperature, like mid climate, or sorry, mid like weather or whatever.
So if they go back to that mid climate, do you think they'll have it back?
I don't think so, but I originally thought that was the case, but apparently not. But snap, the new outfits are supposed to symbolize growth. Okay, do you remember when Monty was like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm gonna make sure that our cosplays are cosplay, or that our outfits are cosplay friendly." Why did you make more outfits then? Like I just finished the Blake outfit like for volume 1 through 3, and they're like, "Guess what, guys? We have a new Blake outfit." And I'm like, "Fuck."
But people still, that's the thing, is the original outfits are so iconic that now, like, they're forced, like, any toy you make of them are going to be from the original.
Yeah,
And
even like in the Blaze Blue crossover, it's Ruby's original outfit.
exactly. And so, like, I do think that during, like, volume 7, when they gone through 3 volumes, or do you think they're just going to stick to the original because it's so iconic? Because it's like, like you buy a toy, it's volume 1 and 3. Even when they had volume 2, they didn't make anything for their new, slightly cooler outfit. So it's like, at that point, is it worth it?
Yeah, the whole like volume 2 outfit, I thought that was kind of dumb because I think that it's almost like you know how like cartoons like My Little Pony and shit like that, they will give you like crazy new like ponies and shit so you have to buy all the toys. Well, I think for Ruby it's like, look at all these crazy new outfits, make these cosplays and sell them.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the only thing I would buy
And
like
fan art.
volume 4 outfits would be Blake's boots because I love them for no apparent reason.
They're
So pretty.
those are like, if okay, no. Logically speaking, those boots would not fucking work. Especially in combat.
I just
Combat
like them.
You know
I
what
like
she
them.
needs? No, you know what she needs? A combat skirt. I can't believe that made you laugh. Blake needs a combat skirt.
Oh, I don't have a combat skirt.
I need to cosplay as someone with a combat skirt so I can get a hoop skirt and I can be like a little cupcake.
Oh.
Does Whitley wear a skirt? He does now. Crow wears it.
Yeah, no, other than that, we saw Blake and Sun, they do good. And then Alien's there.
Ilya.
No, I think it was
And
more Ilya and then Blake's there and then Sun kind of stopped the cart.
well, he did stop the
Oh
car.
yeah, apparently Sun also like assaulted Blake.
Yeah. Apparently. So he could save innocent people. He's
Oh,
the
no.
worst. Sun could literally someone in my comment section was like, Sun could literally save the entire RWBY universe, and still the Bumblebee shippers would say he's being selfish. He should have let someone else save the world. He just did it all himself. Who does he think he is? Ooh, it makes me angry.
Wait.
I swear.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of the whole like Sun Blake and Yang thing. Just actually speaking. Okay, do you remember how like a couple podcasts ago I said, the White Rose shippers are not that bad anymore.
Yeah.
I was wrong. So like I posted the cosplay pictures. So I do you remember how I posted cosplay pictures with me and my friend. We were doing monochrome, so it was obviously black and white like ship pictures, and a lot of people really like them. But then I get this this private message about it was from a RWBY role player, I guess.
I remember this.
And she was upset about me. She was upset with me because I didn't cosplay as a RWBY. Or no, she was upset. She was upset about the post because it wasn't White Rose. And it was like two people actually started a group chat with me, and I was like, "Oh, okay. So like what's this?" And I was like so originally I thought that it was like they were like role playing with me, and I'm like, well, I'm Whitley, so I didn't kiss Weiss. And they're like, no, we saw your cosplay picture. I'm like, oh, in real life. Well, I mean, she's kind of like my pseudo girlfriend in a way, so that's why. Also, I didn't actually kiss her, so and then she just fucking got mad at me. I told her off, and she hasn't contacted me yet. Hopefully not anymore. But yeah, fucking White Rose, you were fine. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Me
And
and
then
my sister cosplayed because I have a Yang wig and a Blake wig. So one day we did like casual Blake and Yang, and all the comments were, "Oh my God, pick a side. Are you Black Sun or Bumblebee?" And I was like, "No, this isn't Bumblebee. This is just Blake and Yang. Like, I just want to cosplay." Okay.
the fan has gone too far. Like, there was a post on Amino earlier, and it was for Lancaster, and I was in a group chat, and someone was complaining because they're like, "Man, we need to stop all this Lancaster posts and stuff." And I was like, "Why?" And it was like, because they're like saying like, "Oh, well, every time there's like a Lancaster post, for some reason, all the freaking White Rose people have to come in, all of like the Arcos people and all the Bumblebee people have to come in and start complaining about why there's a like Lancaster post." And it's like, what? It's so ridiculous that now people are like, "Man, we need to stop this because I hate people complaining." And it's like, why are these people so obsessed with ships? I mean, it's fun to like for you guys. It's like fun. Like, hey, haha, let's do this here, let's do this there. Let's have fun. But then these people are like seriously like, you're either with us or you're against us.
It's like fucking WrestleMania.
And it really seems like they're
Watch
like,
out, it's Bumblebee off the top rung. Oh my god.
and it seems like the freaking fandom is forming their own White Fang because of ships, and it's so ridiculous.
People just want a platform to fight and be toxic.
Well, okay, Black Sun. Well, we're talking. Oh yeah, we're talking about Sun earlier when you were talking about, and it's like it seems like a lot of these people are just like, well, I don't like this character because he's a man, and it's
No. It's oh my god. I don't like Sun because he's a guy and he's also Aryan, so he's clearly a Nazi and stuff like that. Oh my god. But like, ugh. Oh my god, this is queer baiting. This is queer baiting. Where is the bubblebees? I want all the bubble. I don't want any guys. I think that Remnant should be a planet where everyone is just lesbians and like males live in like the core of the earth and they send up like their male stuff so we can produce more babies. And like I either that or I think remnants like women should just be able to. I think that there should be no men at all. It's just fudas, because I like to fap to fudas because fudas are really hot. Because men make me uncomfortable because they don't like looking at me because I'm gross and I have a lot of acne because I breathe heavily a lot because of the lesbians.
There was for Michael Jones
Shut up.
on no okay
No, not you.
so Michael Jones he got like I can't remember, it was like 100K.
Not Michael Jordan though. Not to be confused with Michael Jordan, right?
Huh?
Not to be confused with Michael Jordan, right?
No, Michael Jones, I'm sorry. So he got 100K followers on Instagram. So it's like that Rooster Teeth tradition to do the Virgin Killer photo shoot. And so as a joke, I did Sun's Virgin Killer shoot and like I drew it and everything and
oh my god, only women should be wearing the Virgin sweater.
Exactly.
That is
And there was this girl and she goes, "This is disgusting. I am a lesbian and I am only attracted to women. This disgusts me." And I was like, okay. I'm sorry you feel that way. Look, these other women on Rooster Teeth staff did Virgin Killer shoots if you want to go check them out. But I will be here, respecting your opinion, woman.
Oh my god, I want to go read that comment.
Oh, I'll send you a link, don't worry.
Wait, I'm reading through it.
Oh boy.
Is she telling the truth or is she full of shit? Let's see.
I don't know.
I have yet to find this comment, Black Sun. I think you're lying.
Am I?
Oh my god.
Because it happened.
Mm.
It was she was talking about like female arses.
Unless she deleted her comment, it's not there anymore, unfortunately.
For real? Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
My evidence.
No. Feminists are so nice. You're a liar. You're a liar.
Everyone, this is our special guest, the host for Remnant Frequency.
Cool. Oh, what was her name for that girl? It was like
I didn't write it down because I didn't know how to spell it.
Sunita Tarkisian.
Yeah.
Sunita Tarkisian.
Please write that.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a whole thing for another day.
That's a whole new can of worms.
So what else do we want to talk about? Was it the cosplay?
So I went sorry. that voice like fucks up my throat. So I went to a con this weekend. The Ruby cast was there.
Oh boy.
I witnessed them from afar, but I never actually got anything signed by them. I was more interested in the Overwatch shit because Ruby is getting a little bit redundant to me. But Whitley cosplayed as Ruby all weekend. Anyways, one of the things that I actually came to notice was that nobody cosplays as Weiss anymore. Like even at the big cons that I go to, they have like really small show ups for like Weiss. And I'm just kind of wondering like why you guys think that is.
I don't know.
Like there were 3 individual groups that were all Ruby, Yang, and Blake. Not like no Weisses. The only Weiss that was at that con was my Weiss, and I asked her to come as Weiss.
Your Weiss.
Yes.
No one else's. Your Weiss.
No, she's my Weiss. She knows. She's my Weiss-fu.
Aw.
Yeah. I guess
Well,
my
I'm sorry. You can continue.
no, you go. You go.
No, you go.
Fine, shut up. My I guess the only thing that I would think is the issue is that Weiss's her outfit is too difficult. Because her volume 1 outfit is ombre. So it's like one of the, like, for example, with the Ruby groups that we've seen, like with the Weiss, the Yang, with the sorry, not the Weiss, the Ruby, the Yang, and the Blake, is that they made them like not the greatest. So like they were kind of just thrown together. Whereas Weiss, you can't really like throw together Weiss. You need like a specialty wig. You need like an actual like Schnee dress and all this shit.
Yeah.
Also, so it's like that. Also, I find that if you're going to buy a cosplay, it's very hard to find a good Weiss cosplay because they're usually like oversaturated in blue or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's like I don't see very many good Weisses except for mine. My Weiss is the best Weiss ever.
No, I'm sad.
Fact.
I
Fact.
cosplay Weiss, and
I don't care.
I went to a con, and one of the other cosplayers, he told me that I was the only Weiss there, and I had already seen like a bunch of Blakes and a bunch of Rubies. There actually weren't a lot of Yangs. There were only like 3. So
I hate my Yang cosplay.
why?
Because I just it's so boring. Yang's like I cosplay as volume 4 and I immediately regret it. It's so boring. I kind of wish I cosplayed as volume 2 Yang or volume 1 Yang. But I also do okay, so it's a funny story. I actually ended up taking Ryan's cosplay basically I just took someone's Roman cosplay. And I must say, I looked closer to Roman than any guy did. So, theory, right? I'm pretty sure Roman is actually a chick. Like, either his cosplay is haunted because as soon as I had everything on, I was just a complete bitch.
But wait, aren't you always a bitch?
Shut the fuck up. Anyways,
I love you.
I feel so bad because I actually had to put like fake eyelashes and mascara on Ryan for Roman because like if you're gonna cosplay as Roman, you have to fucking dedicate. I hate it when people will like, oh, okay, this is cosplay, but like my biggest pet peeve revolving cosplay is when people A, don't wear wigs, B, don't dedicate enough, and C, think that wearing regular clothes and calling it a cosplay is good enough. For like anime, like if it's something like, for example, like I saw a lot of Life is Strange cosplays and they were like closet cosplays. But like those are because it's like they are, in the real world.
Modern
Whereas
world.
like
Yeah.
I saw like a Blake cosplayer who didn't actually look like a Blake. She was just like wearing a vest, like a black vest. She didn't have the scarf on, she didn't have the Blake wraps. She was wearing like like white jeans and then like stockings and a bow on her head and she was Blake. I'm like, fucking dedicate. And I feel like the worst for these ones are the Jeans and the Romans. Because I see a lot of Roman cosplayers who will dye their hair orange. Remember that?
Neptune. There are a lot of Neptune cosplayers that do that too, but I think that's only because they don't have like an actual wig.
Well, you
for
can't.
Neptune?
Okay. Well, like it's harder to do that because, for example, I would make it an exception for characters like Sage, Neptune, and Scarlet because they actually have
Yeah.
shaved heads in areas.
Yeah.
And for you to get that effect on a wig, you would have to make it yourself because you would have to make like a custom wig cap and shit like that. Like, that's what I'm doing for Sombra, for example.
Oh, okay.
But like for Romans though, I see a lot of them like a lot of guys, they just don't have a wig. Some of them don't have a wig on at all and they just have the outfit on. I'm like, "Okay, so you're someone who stole Roman's clothing." That's what it looks like to me.
I think not to be sexist or anything, but I see a lot of guy cosplayers who won't wear the wigs. Like, I think I think like I've seen sons that won't wear the wigs. Uh and of course we already said exception is Neptune, but Neptunes who don't wear the wig.
I actually find that recently a lot of Neptunes who don't wear wigs actually do their hair very well. Like I saw a couple of Neptunes who don't have the like who don't wear wigs, and they did a very good job at doing their hair. So you know, if you're cosplaying as Neptune and you're at Fan Expo, you had a good cosplay. Good job. 10 out of 10. Fix your weapon though. It looks weird. Um,
Thank you.
no problem to that one Neptune that I saw. Um, I just if you cosplay, I really think you should wear a wig because wigs make
Yeah.
you look full. Like wigs make the hair look fuller, and they just look better. They're easier to mold, and they look a little bit more anime, I guess. It's not really not that hard, and I get a lot of shit for saying like I comment on a lot of things saying like, hey, maybe you should wear a wig next time, and they're like, well, I don't really want to wear a wig, it's expensive, and I'm like, yes, like you're supposed to dedicate into cosplay. It's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I forced my Roman to wear eyeliner, and he was a trooper. I put eyeliner on him, and I put fake eyelashes, like really big fake eyelashes too.
He looked amazing. It
He
was
looked
worth it.
so hot. I'm not gonna lie. He looked so hot. No, he did. He did. He did. He looked really hot.
I love how Snap is just in the background, like they're talking about cosplay. I don't know
Well,
what.
he muted himself because autism.
Oh, Snap. Oh, I feel bad.
Actually, I highly recommend that anyone who wants to get into cosplay to do it. But if you're going to get into it, I think you have to dedicate yourself to it.
Once I got into it, I think my first cosplay was actually from a game or a series called Toho, the Toho series.
Tahoe,
And
yeah.
yeah, my first cosplay was Izayo Sakuya.
Oh, I remember having to cosplay as Flandre Scarlet at one point.
Oh, I love Flandre.
And that was one of the cosplays that for me evolved because I went from not having the wings at all to having wings that were made out of cardboard, and then they turned into wings with LED lights.
Ooh. See,
Yeah.
I forced my sister. She's 4 years younger than me, and when I started watching Toho, I was like maybe 13. And no, I was probably younger. I was probably like 11. And my first cosplay was Sakuya, and we had to like find a wig and style it, and we bought the dress. And then I was like, well, I want my sister to cosplay me too, so I made her be Remelia. Because I was like, there is no way I can make her be Flandre. So I made her Remelia, and she was a trooper. She was good. But that was
I guess
my first cosplay. And then I did Homestuck, which is an
Oh
absolute
no, okay.
mess.
Anyways, I guess since Snap isn't here, we can talk about like cosplay tips because I think that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like I was saying with I really think that people should like really dedicate themselves to cosplay. Like, I know you have to start somewhere, but like don't like, don't be surprised if someone comments and says, "Hey, you should wear a wig," or "Hey, maybe you shouldn't wear closet clothing," or like you should actually sew yourself. Like learn how to sew, or like learn how to do all these other different traits. Like for example, my wife's she actually makes her own wigs from yarn using like the brushing out the yarn wefts method. And it takes a long time. She makes almost all of her props, and a lot of people kind of like criticize her for buying her cosplay, but then she's like, "Well, I mean, I made everything else. I made the wig, I made the weapon, I made the shoe. Like, she altered the shoes, she did the makeup, she did everything. Like, she's really good at cosplay. So just because you don't make everything in a cosplay doesn't mean that it's bad. So start somewhere smaller. If you go to cons, like go to panels and shit that are cosplay oriented. I would recommend Arda. Anything that is Arda panels, those are really good. Wigs are expensive. Make your own. I don't know. What are your grand tips?
I don't think I really have any other tips except that a lot of people tell me stuff like they're the wrong skin color to cosplay a certain
That's so
character.
dumb. That's so dumb.
Yes. I usually tell them, they're like, how can I make my skin lighter? And like, how can I make it to where I look like I'm more fit than I am? And like, all I really want to tell them is just, it's okay. Just, you don't have to be perfect. Like,
Actually, I was going to cosplay as Emerald one time, and I got a lot of criticism against it, saying that, "Oh, you can't be Emerald because you're not black." And I'm like, "What?" Like, you would
that's
never say that. You would
so
never say that to
stupid.
someone. Would you ever say that to someone who is cross-dressing as like Jean? Like,
No.
you can't be Jean because you're not a guy. I think that if you want to be,
Stupid.
I think that anyone can make a cosplay look good. Like, when I was, younger, I used to really hate people that were obese cosplaying because it made me look cringe.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of people who are like bigger, like know how to cosplay and do it well.
Yeah.
Like your lifestyle is unhealthy, but your cosplays are pretty solid. And same thing with the male and the females. Like one of my friends is a male, and he cross-dressed as Weiss. Like he wore the skirt, he waxed his legs, he waxed his chest, he did everything. He wore heels, he dedicated himself to it, and I didn't know that it was a guy until I actually talked to him, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Brendan." And my Weiss was like, as a cosplayer, I feel ashamed that I will never be as good as he is as Weiss."
That's me when I see any cosplayer. I will never be as good as you. You look amazing. Thank you. I'm gonna go now.
I think that another thing that I've noticed, like within Ruby, with cosplay in particular, is a lot of people are scared of criticism and of
I
giving criticism.
Please tell
think-
me you guys didn't talk.
Huh?
Did you guys talk off topic?
No,
Oh, we
we're
started
talking.
talking about
good.
cosplay.
Good.
Um,
I don't want to edit.
I was gonna say something, but I totally forgot.
um, we were just talking about Ruby cosplaying, and how like I find that a lot of like people who cosplay Ruby are either afraid of criticism or afraid of giving criticism.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I started showing my face on the Amino like probably a month after I joined. To be honest, I was really not scared to show my face at all or show my cosplay. And I don't think I really thought like people would hate on someone for like the way they look.
They
But
do.
like, but it's kind of related. But here's the story from my sister likes Undertale, right? And she was on the Undertale Amino,
Ugh.
and someone was cosplaying as I forgot who it was, but
Metaton.
no, I think it was Frisk. But someone said in the comment section, I don't know if she has a screenshot of this. I hope she does, but the person goes, "Your cosplay is really great. The only problem is your face." And she commented on it like what her makeup, and she goes, "No, she's ugly." And I was like, "Oh my god." And I told her, I
Isn't
was like,
Frisk
"No,
like pixels?
yes." But I told her just to get off the amino because at that point, like, if people are gonna treat other people like that, you don't need to be on there. That
Yeah,
means
some
I
like
should leave the amino, but
well, I mean, if it's gonna be a toxic, if you think it's a toxic community, I think you should just leave the amino. Same thing goes for like Ruby Amino. If you think that it's going to be toxic and you don't want to be part of it, just leave.
yeah.
Like,
I
don't.
hope.
I was gonna say like so a really similar thing happened to me with my Blake cosplay. Um, I posted it and someone said that the cosplay was great, but they said, "No, I actually really don't like your cosplay." I'm like, "Oh, what's wrong with it?" And they're like, "Oh, it's your face." And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, you have like no chin. Like, where's your chin?" And I'm like, "What?" You're like, "Yeah, you don't look like Blake at all." And I'm like, "Blake is like an animated character. She's like polygons and shit." And he's like, "Yeah, your face just doesn't suit Blake. Like your cheeks are chubby and stuff." And I'm like, um, like you don't cosplay, do you? You don't get outside too much, do you? I like
Who, me?
no, just this one guy, and
Oh,
when it comes to criticism, I think it should be more about like things that you can actually fix. Like, don't just say, "Oh yeah, your face looks like shit. You shouldn't be cosplaying as Blake. You don't look like Blake." Or, "Hey, you're white. You shouldn't be cosplaying as Sage." Like that's you can't fix that. You can't change who you are. Like you can't change your body type unless you know like really really work hard. But if you want to cosplay and you are like plus size or you're really really skinny, I think you should still do it. I really do. And criticize how you take pictures, how you actually make the cosplay, how you can make it better, and other
like
things.
constructive critique, you know?
Yeah, don't comment stuff that is absolutely useless to the person. Like, "Oh, your face you don't look like Blake," for example, or like, "Oh, you don't look like Yang, your boobs are too small."
Well, your makeup just looks terrible. Well, how can I fix it? Oh, I don't know. It just doesn't look good. Stuff like
The
that.
If you
yeah,
yeah, if you can't like if you can't justify your bullshit opinion, just don't say it at all.
I was gonna say, uh,
You
yeah,
were gonna say.
yeah, no,
You were gonna say.
I think a lot of the stuff that people they don't let me this also kind of goes to me sometimes, but like people like to see the same stuff as they always see. So when they see like a picture that might be slightly different from a character, they get, "Oh, that's not right, that's different." Of course, that's a whole entire thing. So of course when someone cosplays as a character and they do it slightly different or they're not the same race, people get like kind of go like, "Well, that's not right," blah blah blah. And that's just the nature of things. Also, with people criticizing how other people look, that's when you're doing something like cosplay, where for some people it's like a fun thing, but attention is supposed to be going towards you because you're wearing like a costume of sorts. It's yeah, a lot of people are really stupid and they'll say stupid stuff, but you also have to take that criticism because it's just in the nature of things that you have to deal with. And that's
Yeah, I know, but I guess with like regards to cosplay though, it's like one of the things that we were noticing is not that people are criticizing how the person looks, it's just that criticize but don't actually back up anything. So like for
Yeah.
example, you know, like, oh, your face looks weird. Your face looks weird. Okay, so you're like, how do you want me to fix that? I don't know.
But but the thing is just that's always going to happen no matter where you are. So you just kind of have to learn how to deal with that stuff. Of course, it's not right, but you just have to be like, yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah, no, I know, but
yeah.
like I'm saying that, you know, you should try not to do that.
Of course.
So like I get that, like, you know, you kind of have to suck it up too, but it's like if you are interested in looking at cosplay or you're cosplaying yourself, just, you know, think about that too.
And you know, like how at least like we're trying to say is, but like if they don't have anything like good to say and they say like something bad, like, oh, you know, you look ugly and that's the only problem with it, you have to recognize that they're not giving real criticism, and you have to be like, well, who cares, you know?
Yeah, speaking of that too, you know how a lot of people kind of say like, "Oh my god, they're deleting all of the negative comments because they don't like negative comments." I think that if it's a useless comment saying like, "Oh, you look like shit," fucking delete it. If it's not like helping you in any way and it's not positive, just fucking delete it. If it's like you're even if it like even when it comes to art or like um um fan fiction and it's just really not helpful, fucking delete it.
I say keep it because even though because like I said, you have to recognize that it is stupid, and a lot of times just leaving it is not gonna like stop the problem. So I just say, you know, if someone says something bad and it might be like super hurtful, let's say if you don't get like downright like saddened by it, I say keep it because even if it's horrible criticism, it's still criticism, and I say, you know, everyone has a right to say whatever.
Yeah, I know, but then other people have the right to remove their shit if they don't like it. So it's like
I know, but
I think it's okay if you delete shit that, you know, doesn't really apply to the situation.
I think one day I will leave the amino, and anytime I have a negative comment or something, or find some really mean stuff on the amino, I always screenshot it and then get rid of it. So one day when I leave the amino, I can use all of this trash that I've gotten from collective people on the amino and just throw it back and then just leave.
Wow. Fucking wrecked.
Wait, so that means you have that one comment saved?
I should. I might.
You know what you should do? You should have like every one day of the week, you should post all of the really shitty comments that you have and call it like fucking bullshit Sundays, something like that. I don't know. It's almost like Rob, you have such an Rob Dyke. Such an unfortunate name. But he does this one thing called like Facepalm Fridays where he just kind of reads off really stupid comments or like posts that people have done. And they're not really like hate comments, but they're just really fucking stupid and they're really funny. I've always wanted to do that for Amino because I have a lot of really stupid shit that I have saved, but I keep on forgetting to do it.
Okay,
I'm sure I could get flagged for that.
Is there
as
any
long as I mark out their names, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Is there any more topics we should talk about?
I was just thinking of this one in my while I was laying in bed and, you know, contemplating life. A couple of months ago, maybe like a year ago or something like that, Matt Hullum said that he showed interest in making a live action RWBY movie.
Oh
yeah.
What do you guys think about that before I lose my goddamn mind on you idiots?
You can start, Lexon.
Oh, I was just gonna say, oh cool. That could be interesting. Like, I know it won't be the series, but that'd be cool. I don't know how they could make it, like, compress it into a movie.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is, on paper, it would be fun if it focused more on like the high school aspect. so it focused on like the characters and less on the action. But other than that, they really can't make this movie. Everyone will tell you that animation is so much better when it comes to like these big movies, because live action, you really can't do that much. So having like, unless they made like, oh, here's the RWBY characters but CGI and it's gonna be set, it'll be way too much money for Rooster Teeth. You know, they barely got enough money from Laser Team, and that's fans. You know, that's just from the fans. So
Yeah, and it was a failure, and they thought, hey, let's make another one.
but I mean, it was pretty okay. I didn't finish it, but no, it's just from that aspect, from like the really fighting, unless it focused more on practical hand to hand and less on like, oh, I'm gonna swing here, I'm gonna be all over the place. If it focused more in like a realistic type world, that's not, of course, realistic, you know, as realistic as you can be, it would be really interesting to see like Blake and like someone like Robin like fighting hand to hand with actual, you know, people who can actually deal with a sword and know how to use it. So you'd have like real hand to hand combat fights, and that would be really good. And they made it like their own real thing, and it's separate from RWBY. Then I find that would be a great idea. But if they say, hey, okay, we're not going to have this giant Grim come out of nowhere, and Blake's going to flip all over the place, and we're going to have this explosions everywhere. No, it's going to fail before it even starts, because it's just too much money, and you can't animate that much without, you can't, it's hard to like do adaptation for a big anime or something like that when there's just so much going on, and in the movie there's just too much money.
Yeah, no, pretty much the same thing. I guess the other thing is that I think that that's a way, that's Rooster Teeth's way of selling out. And I think that they're already selling out RWBY, and it really rubs you the wrong way. I get that they're like a company, but they fucking pimped RWBY so hard that it's really sad, and it really hurts to watch. Because like, for example, you know, they were like, hey, we're gonna make a RWBY board game. Like, everyone was losing their mind over it, saying like, oh, that's so cool, but it's like, why though?
Wait, they are making a RWBY?
Yes.
Gee, it's what's oh, it's a RWBY thing. You can 3D print like a RWBY minifigure and just make like your own board game from it. Unless they do something cool like Crossfire, where you can shoot balls at other people, it's not gonna be that cool.
Well, like, like, board games can be very interesting. Like, if it's like a board game that has its own set of rules, then you know what, that would be pretty cool. But if it's like a Monopoly style board game, yeah, I know. Ryan just came in and kind of figured out what we were talking about. If it's like a Monopoly style RWBY board game, where just kind of like you roll dice and move your piece, it's not gonna be worth it. But Rooster Teeth, stop pimping out RWBY. It's so sad. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you want your dog to have a RWBY collar? Fucking here you go. Hey, you want your own RWBY cereal? Hey, here you go. Hey, you want your, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then like with the live action movie too, like, I guess now with Death Note I think was pretty good on its own.
Oh yeah, I liked it a lot.
And holy shit, how they made the demon. If that's how they're gonna make a Beowulf, by all means, fucking go for it. That'd be fucking terrifying.
That was great.
Ryuk,
A mix of live action and motion capture. That was great.
Well, Ryuk was acted by
William Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
But
I'll get you next time, Spider-Man.
Well, he did the motion capture for the face and the voice, and then they had someone else, I believe, as the actual stand-in for when they filmed the stuff with Ryuk.
Yeah, and like, well, because when I saw it, I thought, oh, well, maybe the live action movie would be so bad if they would do that with like Beowulfs and like that, because that would actually be really terrifying. But then it's like, oh, well, Beowulfs are more like anthropomorphic, so it wouldn't work the
They
same.
probably would have focused more on CGI than. I say live action's great because it looks realistic and it's cheaper. Like when it comes, like live action.
Oh wait, so let me get this straight. You want a fucking furry to come dress up as a Beowulf and start rubbing up on Ruby, and that's the RWBY live action movie. You don't want a live action movie. You want a fucking porn. That's what you want.
Look, okay.
Shut up.
You know, there's actual like real the people when they really set their minds to it, they can make so many cool stuff.
Yeah, you think Richard is gonna do that?
I'm just saying that it will be smart because it's cheaper and if you get the right people, it can look like so realistic. Like you said, Ryuk.
He's terrifying. I get like chills.
Yeah, but another. Can I say?
Go for it.
I also have to agree with you when it comes to like when you said it's so sad watching RWBY or something.
Sell out.
Yeah, because of that. Like when I was making the RWBY Abridged and I was helping everyone, and I had to rewatch like the first couple of episodes. I seriously almost cried because I was like, "Oh man, this show's so great!" And then I started to remember Volume 3 and 4, and I was like, so I kind of have to agree when it comes to like it. I wouldn't say. I mean, I'm not focused on it too much, so I don't know like everything that they're doing to sell out, but I can definitely see like the drop in quality when it comes to.
I don't think it's the drop in quality. I think it's just like them like a movie is just it's not like, hey, we're going to do RWBY justice and give the fans a good movie. It's, hey, how much money can we make up of a live action movie? And that's totally what they're doing. That's why Matt Hullum was the one who had the idea and not RWBY crew themselves. Did you am I the only one who noticed it? It was Matt Hullum's idea, not Miles or Monty or Carrie.
Plus, they're just doing too much stuff at once that it's gonna really mess up a lot of stuff because who's gonna write it? Who's gonna do all this stuff? Are they gonna make a new crew just for the movie? There's just a lot of stuff that you have to remember that Rooster Teeth, for the most part, they like dump in quality, or not quality, but they dump in like videos that are like almost every single week. So who's gonna do it and how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, well, originally, I heard that they were going to give the rights to a movie, like an actually, like, sorry, not actually, an actual like movie making production.
They already have one. They might maybe if they that we because if I would guess probably Warner Brothers because.
Well, I mean, if the Five Nights at Freddy's movie turns out as good as it is from Warner Brothers, then yeah, sure, take RWBY.
No, they haven't. They said no.
Oh, they did?
Well, because Warner Brothers was like, we're gonna make this into our own thing, and he's like, nope. So they're having the Blumhouse Productions, who does like Sinister and all those like indie horror movies.
Oh, for what? Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah, because Warner Bros. Was too like, we're gonna make this into our own thing, and we're not gonna follow your advice, and so yeah. I say Warner Brothers because they already did a deal with Warner Brothers Japan to have it be, have a dub for the Japanese people.
Yeah, but that's the dub. I'm like, okay. Hold on. Sarah needs to do some research.
Okay. As you do research, I'll talk. I mean, a lot of people say like don't do it because of the recent adaptations through many forms of media and people going at Death Note 2. So they really can do it in their own way. They can do it something like the Death Note where it's basically its own movie and where it's like another story in the RWBY universe that's more like low budget. And of course that's going to piss off fans because fans want to see the same thing they always see all the time. But it will be the safer route. Well, not safer because it's going to be safer money-wise, because if they have to do a straight-up adaptation of RWBY, that's going to be a lot of money, and I don't know if Rooster Teeth can really handle all that money and, like, make it into, like, a quality film, or just even if they have that money in general. But if it was more of a safe film, where it's just, hey, you know, let's see a life of a faunus, or let's see a life of a person who wants to be a huntsman, and it goes through their life, and maybe we'll have mentions to the characters that we like. Maybe we'll even see a glimpse of them, like fighting on TV or something. This person inspires to be them or something. Then
Cool.
I can definitely see that, like, a cool indie short film, and it doesn't have to do that much with RWBY, so people everywhere will watch it and be like, hey, you know, this is a pretty cool premise. You know, the special effects were good. I like that movie.
I think you're giving it too much credit, to be honest with you.
I'm saying what they could do.
But here's the thing, is that anime or this style does not transfer well into live action. Like, have you ever seen the movie Sucker Punch?
God, no.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
So Sucker Punch was a movie that was supposed to be very similar to like an anime, and as far as I was not meant to be like anime style, and it just did not have that same feel to anime, and it felt really weird.
But that can also be attributed to the director not being that good of a director in the first place.
Yeah, but it's still like, okay, how about The Last Airbender?
It's still a director.
I
The
mean,
director, executives, you know.
are you hold on? Are you saying that M. Night is a bad director?
It's okay.
You get the fuck off this podcast. You are not welcome here. How dare you? How fucking
I like
dare
a lot of his movies too.
you? Also, like, honestly, the only thing I liked in Death Note was Ryuk. That was it.
I like everything about it.
It didn't transfer well into movie. And I understand that it's like you're supposed to watch it not like you're supposed to go into it not expecting a retelling of Death Note, but it's like it's because the actual anime itself would not transfer well into this live action thing.
I don't know. I think that's kind of separate.
Don't even get me started about the Attack on Titan shit, Snap. I swear to God.
I don't want to watch Attack on Titan, so I don't care.
The live action shit?
The thing is, I think RWBY maybe could work, but that's only because...
Okay, Snap, go watch the Red trailer and tell me that would be possible in live action.
That's what I was telling you. It can't be possible. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but like the whole point of RWBY was supposed to be, or at least the whole point of RWBY from Monty's perspective was that it's supposed to be fighting sequences.
But my whole entire point is they can do the safe route, which is spend a lot of money to give a dog shit movie that'll probably not even look as good as RWBY or anything closer, or they can give the risky but safe money-wise, where they can do an own story in the RWBY universe and not focus on the super powerful characters. So it is possible for a movie like RWBY to work.
I don't think so. I don't think even the weapons will transfer well into live action at all. It would just look really cheesy. I guess it's because I don't know, I watch a lot of anime from childhood at least, and I've seen a lot of different live action adaptations of it. And you can say that it's the director's fault, but in reality it's not it. It's just you cannot transfer this type of stuff into live action. It just doesn't work.
I think I have just so much faith in producers, which is really sad.
You have too much faith in them.
I have too much faith in everyone and everything, to be honest. And when Snap is like, they can do it, I'm like, yeah, they can do it. And Sarah's like, no, they can't do it.
Well, the other thing is that if you think about it, if they were going to make a live action RWBY movie, it wouldn't be because it's like, you know what, we should make a new outlet for fans, it would be, you know, like let's see how much money we can get. When in reality, it's like they already have a manga, they already have a video game, they already have the anime, and they have a spin-off. Why the fuck do they need a live action movie? It's just for more money, which they already have from all of these other companies that they have. So reality, it's just they're trying to get a monopoly on this whole thing, and it's ridiculous. Like they didn't do this shit with Red versus Blue, as far as I know.
Because it's not as commercially viable. It's not as you can't sell a show about. Okay, they can't because it's about Halo, which is already something thing. Even though people argue that RWBY ripped off a lot of stuff, and because it's for older audiences and not for people under, you know, if you at the time it was supposed to be, hey, let's make this thing for adults. But RWBY, anyone can watch it basically.
Unfortunately, anyone can watch it. But the other thing that I was going to say is that Rooster Teeth would not make a movie for fans that we would want. It would literally just be a cash grab. So you know how you're saying like, oh well, we could do the safe route which is basically like almost like the equivalent of The Room, which would be really sad. Or they can do something completely unique. Snap. We're talking about Rooster Teeth here. Do you really think that they're gonna say, hey, let's be unique and try something really crazy and like out there and like completely out of our comfort zone and make money off of it? No, they're not. They're gonna do the bullshit avenue of like, hey, let's see which route can get us the most money, and we're gonna sell this bitch out. I would not be surprised if a big corporation said, hey, we'll buy RWBY from you for this amount of dollars. I guarantee you they would sell that shit.
My old me wants to argue with you so bad. I said my old me who loved Rooster Teeth, like when it first came out, wants to argue with you so bad. But
yeah, now though, old Rooster Teeth probably wouldn't, because it's like, oh, we're actually making money now. Ooh.
I think it's because, like, I don't know. I just think of them as a company. Like,
exactly, they are a company.
Like any company would, if offered enough money, would sell a product or the rights to a product.
Exactly. That's why I'm arguing that I don't think we should have a live action movie, because Rooster Teeth is just trying to sell it out. So they're probably going to do it anyways, and no matter what plan, they're going to do it anyways.
Let's just hope it's cool.
What's sad is...
Do you want to make bets?
What's sad is... No! Because then it's going to be on video!
Yeah, okay, Stav, let's make a bet.
Ugh, fine.
I bet you exactly... Wait, you're American. Hold on.
Dirty American dog.
Hold on. This is the exchange rate.
Sure, 5.
Shut up. Okay. Go away, Ryan. Okay. I bet you 43.45 Canadian dollars, which in USD would be $35, that if there is a RWBY live action movie, it will be absolutely garbage. And that we're making this rating off of like critic things like IMDb and shit like that.
Oh no, Tomatoes. That doesn't because they.
Okay, then what qualifies as a shitty movie?
That's why it's flawed. That's why you can't How about
Let her make her bet. She's literally gonna give you money and stuff.
But then Snap would have to give me money if he loses.
If you think she's wrong, though, don't argue.
But that's only because. Okay. But Rotten Tomatoes is its own thing, so they can.
Okay, so what if you take all of the critic websites collectively and make like a medium of the consensus?
But they're gonna be like, "What's this weeb shit?" And they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's bad."
I mean, Not necessarily. They don't do that just because like, oh wow, this is weeb. No, they actually like look at how it is. And
okay, so I don't know.
I think Snap is backtracking.
Because you're going from like I think if we were to both, because I'm an honest person, so if we both said that it was absolute garbage, and like we looked at all the reviews and said yeah it was absolute garbage, then I would be willing to be like, okay, I'm willing to give you $35 because
35 United States dollarinos. And you know what, Snap? Maybe your dollar will drop. Maybe you'll end up giving me like 2 cents. You don't know that.
I don't plan on that anytime soon.
All right, so that's our bet. So if we both agree that the movie was shit, we have to be honest.
We have to be honest. Like if there's stuff that we both liked and we're like, yeah, you know what, it wasn't as bad as we thought it was gonna be, then okay, yeah.
All right, so Ryan brought up an idea. Black Sun is going to be part of this bet as the tiebreaker. So whoever says, so we're gonna say we're all gonna watch this movie if it comes out. And
I was gonna watch it anyway because I'm a
yeah. So you have to also say. So the three of us are gonna say whether or not we liked it, and either so, you know.
Okay, I'm willing. I'm okay with this bet now.
Okay.
All right. So if at least two of us actually liked the movie, then Snap, you are getting 40. Hold on. 43.45 Canadian dollars from me.
Okay.
And if two of us or more hated it or didn't like it or didn't think it was as good as it could have been, then you owe me $35.
Okay.
Sweet. Well, now you Snap, I will watch this podcast again, and if you edit this bet out, I swear to God. I swear to God. Well, I think that should be it unless you want to sell your soul to me too.
Don't do it.
Yay, now we have a clickbait title. Oh my God, we made a bet.
Okay, I think that's it for this podcast. We talked about a lot of interesting topics, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to see more podcasts like this, then check out our other videos.
Bye.
We'll try to make this every week as we can, but school started, so it might become as slow, might be here and there, but still make more. All right, bye. Anyone else want to say bye?
I said bye. Ow, that hurt.